Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Wes here, aka Seahawks Prime, and this is the Seahawks Times. Thank you so much for tuning in. I want my passion and my love for football to come through in these videos and this community. So thanks everyone who subscribed. And if you're subscribing today, welcome. This is going to be a lot of fun, this journey. And this is not just for Seahawks fans. This is for all NFL football fans nationwide, internationally. Let's get right into it. Baker Mayfield. To Baker Mayfield or not to Baker Mayfield is the question they are asking, just like Shakespeare, all over the media, all over Seahawks media, and it's a belief that's kind of swirling around that Drew Lock and Geno Smith are not enough, that Seattle can kind of bring in a quarterback that can, push them and give them instant playoff access. I don't look at Baker Mayfield that way. Is he kind of have more of a track record than any of our QBs here? Yeah, maybe on paper, but he had a lot of weapons around him. He had Beckham, he had Landry. They were in and out of injury. Joku. Who else did he have? He had Austin Hooper, Nick Chubb, who was dominating at rushing for a while, and Kareem Hunt. He had a good offense and a good offensive line, in my opinion. Don't quote me on that because I'm not that deep on their line play, but I do feel like they built a good team around Mayfield, and Cleveland just kind of perpetually underachieves in that sense, and I don't think that was all on Mayfield. So I do think Baker Mayfield is a good quarterback. A lot of what I'm trying to explain here is that I don't think he pushes it past what Drew Lock or Geno Smith could do, especially if you're going to bring him in and then have to maybe give him a contract. I just don't think that this is the time to do that if you're Seattle, and I'm not sure that Baker Mayfield's ceiling is beyond Drew Lock's. Go to my videos on my previous video on Drew Lock and Geno there, and maybe some of that will explain why. Now, in a situation that Seattle's in, do you take a look at Mayfield? If he's really, really wanting and chomping at the bit to play at Seattle, then maybe you do. If he really thinks that he really wows you in a phone call or an interview on a Skype, maybe you bring him, but I'm not sure he automatically dominates that competition and is better for our team than what we have already. And who I think is the best for our team already is Drew Lock. And it's just about throwing styles and style of play and the Waldron offense. Now, we have a lot of crossing routes, a lot of precision passing that's going to be needed to really, maximize Tyler DK Eskridge. I think Mayfield can sling, but I think Drew has just better arm talent. He can put the ball in the windows. He's got just a nicer throwing motion, and Drew can slide outside the pocket and make plays too. So I'm just not thinking it's the right time to bring Mayfield into Seattle. I do like Baker Mayfield. I think he's got a lot of swag. I think he's misunderstood, and I think he kind of got the shaft like most of these Cleveland quarterbacks do. I mean, how many quarterbacks has Cleveland drafted really high in the last 20 years? I mean, I think it's definitely a record. I remember seeing a meme one time. It was like over 30 QBs drafted in the first round in only 10 seasons type of thing. Bless you, Baker Mayfield. I hope you make it. I saw you were doing a charity event today. You seem like a really good guy, and I hope you land with an NFL team. Seahawks Times Nation, I just don't think it's going to be with Seattle, and this is not a slight on his skill set. Now, let's get into why I think that Baker Mayfield could make it in the NFL. He has all of the intangibles you want. He's still young. He's got a lot of power behind his throws. He just needs to calm down his decision making. He needs to get in a situation where they can hone and maximize his skill set. Does that sound familiar? That sounds like a player we already have here. We already have that's gone through OTAs, that's about to enter training camp, that people are speaking highly of already. And that's actually both of our cute quarterbacks. I'm more pertaining to Drew Lock, but then you have Geno as well, who's no slouch. So I think that we're just going to roll with who we have here, Eason being the outliner, and we're just going to try to make it work with what we have here. But Baker Mayfield in 2023, I think he is worthy of playing in the NFL. I believe he is a top 20 quarterback. I believe he was thrust into a crappy situation. Now they got Deshaun Watson, who clearly physically and as a talent is above any of the quarterbacks I'm talking about in this discussion. But when it comes to character, I think that Baker Mayfield is a great guy and he deserves to be in the league. But I think this job is Drew Lock's, and then will remain that way. So, yes, no, why? So yes, Baker Mayfield is cool. No, he won't be playing in Seattle. Why? Because I don't think he's necessarily better than the players we already have right now. And those guys are not going to be as expensive if we want to sign them to more of a long-term deal in the immediate future. I love you, Seahawks Times Nation. Once again, thank you so much for subscribing. Let's get this channel up. I'm down to collaborate with other Seahawk or just in general NFL YouTubers. I love talking about football. This is what I do. If you like this, comment. Let me know what you guys feel about this situation. If you think Baker Mayfield is an upgrade enough to bring in and try to win this competition. This is just my opinion. I love chatting with you guys in the comment section. Let's get this going this year. I'm really excited for a training camp. I'm going to have a lot of content coming. Peace.